street looks little, doesn't it? I remember.
I'm opening the window.
People to follow because I would never.
Mom, you don't need to stop. It's not open. You've never been back here before? You would have had to go back to the college. They would have Well, that's what happened. That's what makes it smoother.
I wonder who sponsors this, Cedar Point?
But then again, I see the catch for pay though. Okay, that's not bad. Like, I don't make the pizza thing because I told her I keep that.
Oh, okay, okay. It was hilarious though when you came back to the stockade area. Yes. Especially because they grew the rest of
First thing in the morning.
I worked with the crazy 12 hours a day. Working. I worked well.
Did you find the sunset?
No. There's one.
substantial one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very little, but yeah. We had a dusting a little while ago.
Log, shame on you, but a couple weeks ago we had a crew from the Travel Channel out here at the park. They have a show called Off Limits, and it's going into its second season, and part of its second season they came out to see Cedar Point during the off-season. We took their host, Dan Wildman, and brought him up here to Mean Streak, and we also took him over to Millennium Force. What we showed him and what we'll show you here, what you'll be able to see as well is every year on our big wooden coasters, we go through a rehab process where we basically rebuild different sections of the track or of the coaster. You'll see this year we're down in the very first turn and all along that back wall there, and basically pulling out the track and rebuilding it. It's obviously a wood coaster, so it breathes, it expands, contracts, it gets old. I bet you go through this coaster, there's probably not a part on it more than 8 to 10 years old, even though this coaster's over 20 years old. It's just part of the process we do with it, and that's always a kind of a great answer to a question is, what do you build, steel or wood? And a steel coaster will cost you a lot of money at the forefront. Millennium Force costs us $25 million. Dragster costs us $25 million. But they're up and they're done. This wood coaster will be cheap to put up, but every single year I gotta basically rebuild part of it and keep putting money into it. So over its lifetime, a coaster like this will far exceed that $25 million or something to build a brand new steel coaster. Our crews are out here working in this type of weather. They were here yesterday, they'll be here Monday, and they work throughout the entire winter. So even though it's a nice day today, the snow is nice, it's a little chilly, but it gets really bad out here. Very windy and much more colder. But they're out there working on these rides throughout the entire off season. So I always tell people, if you ever see a maintenance guy or girl during the summer, shake their hand, thank them. It's because of their hard work that these rides are up and running every day during the season. Another quick point too, I'll make a reference of, again, some of you might have heard this if you were on the tour a couple weeks ago. The wildlife that comes out here at Cedar Point in the off-season is incredible. You can see the seagulls now, but if you've got a keen eye and you keep an eye out for them, there's at least a half a dozen bald eagles that are out here on the peninsula during the off-season. We've had deer out here, foxes. I got a picture of a fox over at Maverick's construction site that winter. Cardinals, blue jays, you name it. This is basically free roam for them. You guys aren't here, so it's nice, it's quiet, and it's a great lookout point for them to see fish out on the lake. So if you keep an eye out, if I see one, I'll point it out. But you can tell a bald eagle when you see a bald eagle. And we were talking earlier, again, there's about a half dozen of them out here. The ones with the white heads are super easy to see. But if you see ones that are brown and maybe some white splotches on them, those are juvenile bald eagles. They don't get that white head until they're about 4th or 5th year. So again, there's usually quite a few of them out and about. I don't see any right now. Again, I just see those seagulls. I think they see you guys and think food's here. But again, keep an eye out for the wildlife. It's really neat to see it during the off season. So we'll head into.
I don't care if they're in the way.
You got a picture of Fatty? How did you do that? Because you were standing next to the restricted areas. Yeah. that trim at the top.
New positions, created new positions. One of them was a corporate sponsorships person, and yeah, the first thing on his plate is Coke, Pepsi.
I already answered the question, but go ahead.
Yeah, all the parks contracts are up. It's almost like a Dwayne Wade and LeBron kind of thing that, hey, coincidentally, all these contracts end this summer. I have not heard Coke or Pepsi. Honestly, we discussed it. We're a Pepsi park. A lot of Paramount parks are Coke. Coke is far more prevalent down in the south. Pepsi is far more prevalent up north.
One has more history with the Coke too, but go ahead.
Right. So honestly, they're making pitches, and our sponsorship guy has told us that he hopes to have a decision, middle of the summer. But he's never been invited to so many golf tournaments and basketball events and parties, you name it. He's getting the invitations.
I got $10 if it helps.
But I believe whoever we do pick, all the parks will go that way. I believe if it's Pepsi, we all go Pepsi. If it's Coke, we all go Coke. Honestly, I'm one of the guys in the middle that it's pop, I'm voting for Dr. K and Mr. Pibb.
Walmart making a bid for Sam's Choice?
Yeah, RC Cola is third, but they're right there. Anyway, yeah, we're back over here by Maverick. I think you guys will get some great above ground shots as we go up into the station. Again, stick together as a group. But just a couple notes, again, for those of you who've never been on a winter tour here. One of the neat things about working here in the off season, and there's about 300, maybe 400 of us here in the off season that work year round. That's down from about 5,500 in the summer. There's about 200 to 300, maybe 400 of us that work here in the winter. Majority of them are maintenance crew, but it's quiet. It's, for those of us that work here, I just completed my 20th summer, which is crazy. This is that favorite time of the year where it's peaceful, it's relaxing, it's quiet. We get to take vacation, which I'm currently on. You wouldn't know it because I'm here. Thank you. Thank you. My vacation started yesterday at 2, and I'm here at work. Thank you. But again, it's just such a different world here in the off season. Again, it's kind of like a family. Again, I know everybody that's here in the off season. The maintenance guys, again, the HR people, operations, foods. There's still a lot of work going on here during the off season. Again, maintenance is out working on these rides and coasters. You'll notice the trains aren't on the track. We take all of them off every winter and rehab them. What we do is we basically create maintenance garages up at the front of the park. When we're leaving, when we get up by Blue Streak, look to the left there at the Blue Streak turnaround, and you'll see what was the picnic shelters. They're all boxed in. They're all maintenance garages right now. And what we do is we have a schedule of rehabbing all the rides and trains here inside the park. So, and I don't know their schedule, but I'll use Maverick as an example. They took all the cars off the track, and they've transported them up to the garages, and they work on Maverick trains from now until January 23rd. And basically what they do is they strip them down to their parts and rebuild them. So we can look at things that we can't see during the season, ball bearings. We can replace seat belts. We can look at, again, things that we normally can't see. We also do what's called non-destructive x-ray testing on the steel track during the off season. Looking at pressure points or stress points to see if there's any faults or any weak points on that coaster track. Again, it's non-destructive. It doesn't do anything harmful to the coaster, but it tells us, hey, is there an area of concern that we need to look at? Thankfully, knock on wood, we've never had to do that, but it's all part of the safety program that we do in the off-season, just like rebuilding the wood coasters. It's all part of the safety program that keeps these things safe and running throughout the summer. And I always use the example, again, we'll take a Maverick car off this track and destroy it all the way down to parts and completely rebuild it. Imagine if you did that to your car every winter. You stripped it all the way down to parts and replaced parts that were worn. That car could ride forever. That's why these coasters can be here 10, 20, 30, 40 years. It's the rehab and the work that we put into them that keeps them safe and keeps them running. Any questions as we keep moving along? Again, I'll answer a lot of these when we get to Chet and Matt's. But any questions in particular about what we've seen so far?
Will there be a bathroom?
Yeah, if someone could get Pete out of the theater at the bar, tell him the tour's still going on. Yeah, we'll head on in. This is really our first, well, we had one other day of snow like this, but we haven't had any real accumulation out here yet.
Yeah, I love the twisted horseshoe roll. That's what they call their double inversion corkscrew. They make shapes from the total.
As soon as you're done, just head carefully down the stairs and we'll run around the infield and take some shots.
Old flash when it's time. If there's a heart, if all the harnesses are down where they do, that's how you acknowledge that all restraints are down. Basically, when you're here, you'll look over everything, make sure all the restraints are down visually.
Again, don't go on that metal edge, guys.
Those metal things will drop that blocks and locks the restraints and checks everything.
secret site with the government thing. We went seen Magnum got killed by a dragster inside the station.
What? Oh.
My one buddy is
It looks so bad when you're sitting underneath it.
Yeah, I just did too.
The ride's apart. Wave swinger. Obviously a ride as old as this is needs a lot more care than a newer ride. Obviously you don't see us doing this with Skyhawk or some of the newer ones, but these older ones, they take a little more TLC than the newer ones. Yeah. We didn't have to do that one then for a couple years. Second note, I don't know if anybody saw it or heard, but there was a fox that ran down Perimeter Road when we were up on Millennium, which was pretty cool. Maverick. And again, we're going to take a little bit of a hike now. We're going to head over to Gemini. So again, ask stragglers to keep up with the group, but we're going to head all the way over to Gemini now. But feel free again to stop and grab any photos along the way.
push air into it and it pushes the cylinder down with the cable. Right. And then yeah.
drink cost here?
I think they were like $5. I know the Gatorades were $4.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, popping stuff.
You like Pepsi better?
Come on.
Gotta love you. These are the trims you will never be able to turn off. They're always on.
Why?
One step, try to take a picture.
So that just blows my mind. Well, no, there's a code. One train in the front, one train in the back. There's enough pressure on those if you ever have to. But your train though, washers, studs, bolts, track work.
Oh, they have all different sizes.
Of what? Oh,
Arrows with different sizes.
this stuff's here all year. All this wood. It just sits here. You never noticed it?
No.
It just sits here all year. When you're riding it, just look down. It's always here. I don't know if all the nuts are there, but
Really heads up.
I have claimed it's going to my house.
It'd be cool to make a big house for your basement to make it all memorable.
what's going on? No, don't run away.
What smell?
I don't know. It smells weird.
Carbon scraping. It was like something hit really hard.
The last time we were here, there's candy. What color spray paint? Was it like on the passenger side or something?
And I noticed it, like, I didn't notice it until I got in, to drive.
Halloween bus.
Oh, really? I didn't remember that.
Here, take a picture of this. Hold it sideways.
About 3:30. As I say every time this portion of the tour, I know we could go on for another hour and a half easily and see the rest of the park, but then we'd have nothing to do next year. So I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. We're back over here by the Soak City lot. We do ask that everybody heads to their cars and heads out to Chet and Matt's. Word of warning though, remember we did that kind of snake in. You got to do that same thing out. Don't take that perimeter road all the way because you'll run into that gate where you were stopped there by the Chaussee access. Just remember to hang a right, follow the parking lot all the way down to the main toll booth, hang a left and you can head out that way. We're heading out to Chet and Matt's. Anybody not sure where Chet and Matt's is?
Don't know.
It's that way. Follow the group.